Hello everyone, welcome back to another video and a tree that is quite new in my collection that I've created a couple of months ago. It's this Ficus benjamina clump-style compilation that you can see right here. Clump-style because it has a lot of trunks in here that actually when I repotted these trees, I noticed that they already started to fuse together, so I decided to pot them up as a clump-style or a multi-trunk bonsai. Today, the goal is to further improve on the design and structure of this tree. Up until now, basically the only thing I did was repot it and apply some wire to one or two of the branches. That's it. Since then, it has been in my collection just steadily growing again. The plan for today is to decide which of these trunks in here we will keep and which of them we will remove to simply further improve the design of this tree. So what we're going to do is I quickly tell you a little bit about this tree, how it's doing health-wise, and then we really start to get going with working on this tree. But I think first it makes sense to give you a little look around on this tree. You might see that at some points it's still a little bit bare. This is because it has lost quite a lot of leaves when I repotted it. I was actually not surprised by that because I repotted in, late autumn, early winter, so definitely in cold season. Then it can be expected that the tree will react a bit harsher to the repotting, so by losing a lot of leaves. But after I would say a week, I already saw how it rebounds. You can see a lot of new growth starting here on this tree. I do keep this in a very bright and warm spot, so that definitely helps after repotting in cold season for a ficus benjamina in this case to bounce back quite nicely. And as it is bouncing back so nicely and showing a lot of new growth, I thought right now is the best idea to work on it, because before the tree invests now a lot of energy in regrowing trunks that we actually don't need. It is best to already remove those trunks so the tree can focus really on those branches that we want also new growth in the future. So I think enough said about the health and the overall look of this tree right now. Let's get really in here into the trunks and decide which ones we will keep and which ones we have to take out. Because right now it is definitely too crowded still here. You can see a lot of trunks and some of them are not really in a good shape, I would say, and also not really doing much to benefit the overall look of this tree. So definitely we'll go in now and take out the ones we don't need. For that, I have two tools prepared for today, simple secateurs or garden shears to do the rough job basically, and then also a concave cutter to really go in there then and make a flush cut so we get not unsightly stumps here, especially at the bottom of the trunk. So again, taking a look around the tree, I notice first of all right away this trunk here that is extremely thin in comparison to the other ones. We have now this one already started to wire it a little bit, trying to fill out this area here in the future. So if we take this out and just imagine the tree without it, I think there is not much lost. So that is something we'll definitely do right away, to have just a very rough clear out of this area by taking out this trunk. Especially when it comes into the thicker trunks of this tree, what we'll definitely do is to try to propagate some of them, because in future they themselves could make like nice trees also. So definitely that's what we're gonna do. But for now, let's focus at the task at hand. So we already cleaned out this section here. We might try to wire this a little bit further down then to already fill this out, even though I'm quite happy with the look of having this area a bit free, focusing on the growth then more up here and not too much down here. We also have a lot of new branching going on right here, of course a lot of back budding from when we repotted and it lost a lot of leaves. It has so much energy in itself that it has started to back bud quite nicely here. I can already see, if we turn it here to the side, it is very crowded. We have 3 branches growing in parallel to each other. That is not something that we want. And again, probably I think the deciding factor for me will be the thickness of the trunk. We have one here in front. Let's see how this one is actually looking health-wise. Yeah, it has a couple of branches. Also here it's starting to show secondary branching already, so that is something that is of course good when we see that. And here this branch doesn't really have much. It also has this very laggy branch down here. So I think once more I just go in here and take out this branch. So 2 that we have taken out already, clearing up the section here a little bit definitely. The good thing is if we see somewhere it gets really too bare, in future we will have a lot of growth still coming here from this tree, so that is not something to worry about. The back here one, I would definitely leave on. Here the front one, I would probably also leave on, because otherwise it really gets a bit too empty. I'm questioning right now if I should take out this one, because it is a bit too much in front, especially if we look at it from the side here. I mean, now I bent it a little bit, but in general, or if we look at this side, which probably I would consider more the front, again, giving you the look from the other side. This looks a bit more messy, a bit more crowded. This one looks a bit cleaner. The tree is also leaning a little bit in this direction. It looks a bit more inviting in my opinion, especially if we get out some of this growth here directly growing into the front. I definitely think we can clean out this area better than the other. And then of course we should also decide which branches we should take out, especially when looking from this perspective here. And then the question about this back branch, I think, is no longer a real question, because I do think it fills out the area in the back here quite nicely. And in the back, I don't really care if it's sticking out a little bit there. In the front, this would definitely be a problem, but in the back, I'm quite happy if it fills out this area back here. And it would definitely, I can show you, without it, it would be only this one, quite bare. So it really fills out this area very nicely. Which leaves us with this tree. I see a lot of dieback up here, so this is definitely a dried out branch we can take out right away. And what I can still see is that we have basically 1, 2, 3, 4 branches very close to each other here. So we have the one here, the main one, or the one in the front, a little one to the side here. So it is the other one that we saw before from the back side, I think. Yes, it is. No, it's actually a different one. It's this one here in the back that we saw before and have not really thought much about yet. And on the other side, it's really the central branch here. This one I think is out of the question to take out, because as it is so central, I do think it makes sense to keep this one. It is definitely, I think, an anchor in case of the whole constellation here. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 branches left. So if we look more at the traditional way that these multi-trunk bonsai are grown, you normally go for uneven branch numbers. So very similar to a bonsai forest, we would also go for uneven numbers. So maybe we do actually keep it at those 7 and simply see with wiring if we in the future can improve this a little bit still. So if we wire this out a little bit, opening it up, that could actually work quite nicely. Also moving this one maybe a little bit. So I would say before thinking about wiring, what we're gonna do is, as we said, clean out the stumps here with the concave cutter. So what I'm really gonna do now is go in here. For example, here's an old stump that I left on that we can simply remove then with the concave cutter. You see it takes a very nice flush cut out then. And normally it means also that there won't be any new growth here, because that is one of the problems I see right now from these branches, that we will have new growth in the future also coming from down here. And that is of course something we want to avoid. So just going in here, really trying to make a flush cut, making it as clean as possible. Here we also still had one that we took out, and we take out also the stump here. So definitely cleaned up the tree a lot. I'd open it up a little bit again. It is only 2 branches until now that we took out. I will still keep a look on if 7 is too much, if we might reduce it actually to 5. Because that of course could be potentially also a way to go, because I'm not that happy yet here with those 4 together, to be honest. So if we take out this, for example, it will still work. It is growing a little bit in front anyway. It is very close to the one here. So if we take out this one, and if our design calls for 6 trunks looking nicer, why not do that, I would say. Then in the future maybe decide if we need one of these, maybe we don't. But yeah, the one in front I think I'm not too happy with, so I'm also still gonna go in, take this branch out or this trunk out. And this one I will definitely try to propagate. It has quite a nice thickness to it. I already did it now with the concave cutter. You can really see how flush it is here. Here's a little branch still on this trunk, starting here from the bottom. Question is, do we leave it on and see where it goes? Maybe. For now we'll leave it on. Maybe it fills out this area here a little bit more. Now the question is, do we even need wire? I think at the moment I'm quite happy with the way it is and don't see anything that is going too much in parallel. They all start to move out a little bit. This one here in this direction, this one moving in the other direction, so it is quite nice. Let's give it a look around from the other sides again to see if we see any flaw still. It is definitely more crowded still here from the back, but that is fine in my opinion. We do have the back branch here being quite in parallel with the one in front. So if I will see a lot of new growth on this middle branch here, we might even take out this back branch in the future because it might become obsolete then. For now, I do think especially to fill out the area here in the back, we do need it still. But in the future design, we might actually get rid of that, especially if we see other branches developing in this direction, for example, from other trees. Probably not this one because it is that branch that I can see right now, so we can take this out. But if we see more branching going on here, and with Ficus benjamina that can always be the case because it is quite prone to bud back, as we can see down here, then we might not need this back branch any longer. But for now, I think I'm quite happy with the design. As I said, I wouldn't wire it right now, let it stabilize again a little bit, see where the growth takes it, and then decide on which direction we wire the single branches. But I think for the old design it was quite important to take out this growth here, just to already give it a little bit more structure than it was before, because of course we took basically a normal indoor houseplant, a ficus in this case, that has more accidentally than anything fused together, put it in a bonsai pot, but now we definitely need to work on it in the future to really make it into a multi-trunk bonsai. But I think, as I said, a good step in the right direction for today. We'll keep you updated on this tree, on the health. If I see a lot of new growth, of course, then we will continue to work on it. As I said, might take out this branch here, start to rewire the ones then, depending on where new growth is showing. And I will keep you updated on that. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, of course, feel free to give it a like. If you enjoy my channel, of course, also feel free to subscribe to that. And hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care.